In an exclusive interview with CBS's Face the Nation, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel says there is no clear end in sight to the violence between Israel and Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. Netanyahu also defended his nation's military strikes. Civilians have taken the brunt of the violence. Today, at least 42 people died, including 10 children. Israel blames Hamas, saying it's targeting leaders and infrastructure linked to the militant group. CBS's Imtiaz Tyab is there.
The horror in Gaza is only getting worse after Israeli airstrikes flattened 3 buildings today, killing at least 33 Palestinians, bringing the death toll to nearly 200. It's the deadliest single-day attack since fighting broke out between Israel and Hamas nearly a week ago. Gaza's Ministry of Health said nearly 60 children are among the dead. As rescuers dig through the rubble searching for survivors, they call out asking if anyone can hear them and get a response. He says, "Yes, I hear you," before being pulled out. Despite the enormous devastation across Gaza, Hamas is continuing its rocket campaign against Israel. Over 3,000 rockets have been fired indiscriminately into Israeli territory. The vast majority are intercepted by what's known as the Iron Dome missile defense system. But not all are caught, causing damage like this in the southern town of Ashkelon. In all, 10 Israelis have been killed, including 2 children. Around the world, and major diplomatic efforts are underway to stop the violence. But Israel insists it's not interested in a ceasefire with Hamas. While in East Jerusalem, where this all began, an apparent car ramming at a police checkpoint. Several officers were wounded and the alleged perpetrator shot dead. It follows weeks of unrest as Palestinian protesters took to the streets to commemorate Nakba Day, or the catastrophe, marking what Palestinians see as the destruction of their homeland for the creation of Israel, which perhaps explains why the looming expulsions of 6 Palestinian families from their homes by Jewish settlers here is causing so much anger. Muna Jourd, who could lose the house her family has lived in for decades, says it's time for this catastrophe to stop. Amidst all the unrest, potentially more serious problems are unfolding. Across Israel, there's been several nights of horrific mob violence in mixed Jewish and Arab cities. Despite an increased police presence, neighbor is still turning on neighbor. King Abdullah of neighboring Jordan says he's leading a diplomatic effort along with European and U.S. allies to get Israel to end its bombing campaign of Gaza. But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says no chance. Jarika.
Imtiaz Tyab for us in Tel Aviv. Thank you.